Okay, I've been broken up with a lot of times and I talk about it on my channel a lot, but the worst times without fail, the hardest, what am I gonna do tomorrow at school, was when people broke up with me during the school year. Hey, it's Abby J, and today we are talking about what to do when your boyfriend breaks up with you during the school year. Because I have been there. I had a guy that broke up with me 2 separate times, and it was like smack dab in the middle of the school year. And it just left me reeling, not only emotionally, but like socially. Because when you get broken up with during the school year, there's a whole different list of rules and like procedures that you should follow. And I, as your life coach, am gonna share those with you today so that you can handle this breakup with grace and tact and pull yourself out through the other side and get over this guy. So let's dive right into how to survive a breakup during the school year. Okay, these are real life tips that I used. I tried these out, I tested them, and they worked for me. I'm gonna spare you and give you some tips on things that didn't work for me, because navigating a breakup is tricky, but doing it like with people watching. And when you have a breakup during the school year, people are watching. And it's kind of so incredibly awkward, but your friends know you broke up. He's probably with like a new girl, right? Like everybody kind of hears those like whispers and stuff. So people are watching you. So that's why these tips are critically important for you to follow. And the first rule of surviving a breakup during the school year is give him space. I cannot stress this tip enough. Give him space. Now, this is harsh. This is what reality is. This is like what a breakup is. A guy has like decided that for whatever reason, and it's totally crazy. It does not make sense. It is not true, but he's decided that he doesn't want to be romantically tied to you, right? That's basically what a breakup like comes down to. And that can be devastating, and we can wonder why. And we can wonder like what we did wrong or how we can get him back. Just give him space. Do not like try to find out why. Do not try to like get up in his space. And it's like so critically important that you are not in contact with him. Now, I 100% know and realize, and before you're like, this girl doesn't know what she's talking about, I know that 99% chance that you have class with him, or that you sit at the same lunch table with your same friends, like that you can't physically not be in the same room as him. But I'm just telling you right now, girl, like do not try to still be his partner in science class. Like do not go sit up next to him and just pretend like nothing happened. Like give him some space, which goes perfectly into my second tip, which is do not immediately try to be friends again. Now, I want to be really clear that I do think it is possible to eventually become friends with your ex. Eventually is a huge qualifying word in that statement. I just don't think, especially if your heart is broken, especially if you're reeling with some emotions, I don't think it's healthy, normal, or good for you to interact with somebody that's rejected you so freshly. Give yourself time, give yourself space, give him space. That's why that's rule number 1. And yes, you can start to pull together a friendship after you've gotten over the hurt of the breakup, but do not try to be friends immediately. Now, caveat, every time somebody's broken up with me, every single time the guy has been like, oh, but we're still gonna be friends, and don't worry, we won't make this awkward in class, and I still think you're amazing. Awesome, cool, thanks for trying to like pander my feelings, but like, don't try to be his friend immediately. Remember that this guy looked at everything that you have to offer and decided that that wasn't what he wanted. Now, is he psycho for that decision? Absolutely. Is there somebody incredible out there for you? 100%. But let's not hang out with people that reject us. So, girlfriend, do not text him. That is part of rule 1 and 2. Give him space. Don't try to be friends. Do not text him. I know that you're going to want to. I know that maybe you already have. From this moment forward, you're not going to text him. Now, my third rule is one that's like the secret sauce of how you are actually going to survive this breakup. And this rule alone saved me so many times. It helped me to not necessarily get over the hurt of the breakup, but to save face. Because remember, like we talked about, everybody's kind of watching. This tip's going to help with that. And that is to be your best. This is going to sound a little vain and conceited, but I'm telling it to you because it's real. The days following a breakup, the weeks following a breakup, and even the months following the breakup, girlfriend, you better look your best. You better put on clothes that make you feel amazing. This is the time to do your hair. This is the time to, do the things that make you feel the most beautiful. Because so often when we go through a breakup, the first thing that we do is we question our self-worth, and our beauty and our confidence takes a huge hit. You're still beautiful. You're still amazing, even though maybe a guy rejected you. So show him everything wonderful about yourself. Just think about it this way. If you've broken up with somebody before, or maybe you can imagine with me what it like that experience, if that person showed up the next day just in like sweats and their like hairs everywhere, and you can just tell that they are like an emotional wreck, you're gonna think to yourself, like, you might feel the slightest bit guilty, like a little bit, but you're gonna think to yourself, oh man, I dodged a bullet. Like, they're a mess. Like, good choice for me because they're awesome and I still want to be friends with them, but like, they're a mess and I don't want to date a mess. On the other hand, if that person, shows up putting their best self forward, so they're still social, they're still talking to their friends, they look amazing, that in and of itself is kind of a little bit of, I hate to even use the word, but like a revenge of the tiniest sort of like, oh yeah, you broke up with this. Let me just remind you about all the things that enticed you to me in the first place. Because I am amazing and wonderful and beautiful and gorgeous, and it doesn't help to have people looking at that all day. Now, most importantly, this is going to help you through that like bruising of your confidence. Because I don't care who you are, like when somebody breaks up with you, it hurts. And you start to question who you are. And so if you can put your best self forward, you kind of help yourself not be so hurt and question your self-worth, because you're like, no, this is my best and I feel and look amazing. My fourth tip is going to answer a lot of the questions that are in your head and in your heart right now. And it is this: be kind, but distant. Now, this tip alone I have shared in every single one of my breakup videos. Like, I've got videos of what to do right after they break up with you. I've got videos to do of like when like your boyfriend just wants to be friends. And this is a tip I share no matter what, and I will share it till the day I die. Be kind, but distant. Going back to like, we, don't want to show up the next day of school after a breakup looking like a ragged mess, and that we've been crying and our mascara smeared and we're just so like devastated and hurt. You don't also want to come across like the crazy ex. You don't want to come across mean or snarky or like, oh, I'll show you. Those things don't translate well to you. They're not going to get this guy back. Like, think about it. If somebody treated you that way, ex or not, you wouldn't want to hang out with them. So be kind, truly. But remember, we're following rules 1 and 2, which is we're giving him space and we're not being friends immediately again. So what are you supposed to do? This is what probably you've been thinking about, where you're like, Abby, what am I supposed to do? I sit right next to him in math class. That's where you come in and you're like, hey, how are you today? And they're like, oh, I'm really good. And that's the end of the conversation. Like, you are kind and pleasant, and anytime they reach out to you, they text you, they interact with you, I promise you this guy is gonna call you at some point. Realistically, he'll text you and say, I'm just checking in on you. Are you doing okay? And you don't have to respond to that, by the way, but if you do feel compelled to respond, Keep it short, keep it sweet, because you're being kind but distant. We're not opening the door back up for them to come into our life. We are not like dismissing the fact that they broke up with us, but we just do not want to be labeled the crazy ex. And especially in the social setting of being like having a breakup happen during the school year, people are watching. His best friend is watching. Your group of friends are watching. Guys that have wanted to take you out for forever but couldn't because you had a boyfriend are watching to kind of see how you survive this. And don't you want to come off not only your best self, but kind and poised and also distant? Do not forget that part. Now, because I'm so crazy about this tip, and this tip will be life-changing for you in any breakup scenario, I want to give you a couple examples. So what does being kind but distant look like at school? So being kind but distant looks like going into science class and, you obviously like lock eyes or even pass each other and you say, hey, how are you? Or nice to see you. And then you go and you sit down at a table next to your girlfriend where before you used to sit next to him, right? And I would suggest a table that's not close to him. Like, don't be by him. Like, don't even be in his sphere. If he's over here, you're over here, but it's not like, I don't even want to talk to you. Like, I'm going over here. Like the whole ignoring treatment. It's just like, hey, how are you? I recognize that you're a human being and we have history and it's okay. And I'm going to go chill with my girlfriend over here. Another example, and I promise you this will happen to you, so listen up good. He will text you. And that text could be lots of things. That could be a, hey, I miss you. Hey, I'm checking up on you. Hey, smiley face. Those are like the worst. And so couple advices for you. One, you don't have to respond, especially if it's like a, hey, smiley face or hi, just like, so like, I don't know, are they bored? Like, that's what I think. And looking back at the guys that did that to me, guess what? They were bored. And they were like, oh, I'll just like reach out to my ex Abby because I'm sure she'll respond and make me feel good. Like, so you don't have to respond. If you are feeling like, I want to respond, or it might come across snarky if you don't, totally your opinion. You have the right to not respond. That's probably my first advice for you. But you could just respond. If they're like, hey, how are you? Be like, hey, I'm doing really good. And then obviously they'll respond back and then you don't have to respond. Or you can respond hours later and just say like, oh, sorry, I missed your text. I've been super busy. And that's it. My rule of thumb is do not text them back more than 3 times. And whatever you do, don't be like the last person to text back. There's a lot of rules of texting. I can do a whole video on it if you want, but just follow this rule of like, I'm being kind, but I'm not letting you think that I'm interested or that you can come on back. Now, my 5th rule for how to survive a breakup during the school year is to stay busy. This tip alone with like looking my best and staying busy, those were 2 that like my mom gave me. And so I just did them and they worked for me. And the rest of the tips I had to figure out the freaking hard way. But staying busy helped me so tremendously. It's real. I remember the first time a guy ever broke up with me and I was totally fine. Like that whole day I was kind of more just like peeved and I was like, ugh, whatever. Like, I just was like peeved. But then as like the night came, and that's usually when he'd like pick me up and we'd go to ice cream or we'd hang out, I got so sad. And I just remember that's when I started to cry, is when I was lonely. It's when like that void of time I would have spent with them happened. That's probably going to happen to you, and 100% okay, totally normal. But to help you through that, because those are our moments of weakness. Those are our moments when we're like, I want to text him. I want to call his best friend and see what's going on. Like, no. So stay busy. Schedule time with your girlfriends. Go hang out with your little sister. Go run. I would like, if my friends couldn't hang out or I didn't know of like a party going on, I would go on these runs where I would just run until I didn't want to think anymore. I'd run until those endorphins kicked in and I felt better. Like, keep yourself busy. start reading books, get a new hobby, study more in school, like join a club, like put yourself out there and, pick up those old friendships that maybe you've let kind of slide because you've had a boyfriend, but just keep yourself busy. There's nothing worse than being lonely when you're heartbroken. So stay busy. I would come up with a list right now. I'd pause this video and I'd come up with a list of 10 things that you can go through that are fun, enjoyable, or healthy for you that would be a good use of your time. So on your list, you could be like, well, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call my best friend. If she can't hang out, then I'm going to hang out with my family. And if for some reason they can't hang out, I'm gonna read this book and then I'm gonna go on a run. Like, create a list so that when you run into those moments, you can say, okay, I'm gonna call my best friend. Okay, I have a plan of how I'm going to deal with this loneliness that comes with the breakup. And that's by staying busy. Oh, can you tell? Like, I've had real life experience in this, and I can't tell you how hard it's been in this video not to like name drop or tell you like tons of details, which be fine. But I'm just saying that breakups during the school year suck. And I've been there, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. And I promise you that if you will follow these 5 steps, it will help you emotionally and socially save grace and recover from this breakup. Because you deserve somebody that's going to treat you like a goddess. You deserve somebody that loves every part of you. And I'm gonna throw this in as a bonus tip, but I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you never give somebody the chance to reject you twice. Up to you, that's a personal decision, but I would like seriously consider that because girlfriend, 99.9% of the time, these guys come back, especially when you follow all 5 of these tips. And why wouldn't they? You're a babe. So I hope this video helps you out. Please leave a comment down below if you have a coaching question. If maybe something's a little bit more private, you can DM me on Instagram. So, like, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any video of how to get through your young adulthood, like achieving your goals and finding extreme success. So, best of luck, girl. You've got this. And I will see you in my next video. So, Abby J out.